Welcome back, everyone, to the latest edition of the Howling podcast. I'm one of the hosts, Jordan Decker. Joining me tonight, Mark Wendt, Chad Birger. Fellas, we're live. How we doing?
Good. We're doing good. Sorry, I made Mark and I mute our mics before we started, but yeah, we're here. We're ready for a show. Yeah, I think I'm feeling much better than Mark is. So, Mark, how are you feeling tonight?
We'll get through it. We'll be fine.
Right.
I know we're live, and we're trying to be professional, but should we have YouTube pulled up so we can see the comments?
No, I have it. I have that. Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and just comment away on the YouTube, and we will get those right in here, and then I will pull those up on the screen so that we can answer any questions you have or respond to any witty or sarcastic comments as well. So go ahead and do that. This is something new we're trying this week. Hopefully it works pretty well, and if not, we'll never do it again. We'll see how it goes.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump in. Jordan, you kind of introduced us briefly, but the Howling Podcast, you can join us on Twitter at the @ and then Howl with us three, at Howl with us three on Twitter, or X as some people call it. Elon Musk is the only person, but join us there. Otherwise, Jordan, your Twitter handle is
at JD6OPE5. JD6 capital O PE number 5. Very Midwest.
Mark?
My Twitter handle is at WDiamond605. A shout out to my late and great father.
And my Twitter handle is at Chad Birger, Birger. No spaces in there. We do have a viewer out there. So Mitch chimes in with a waving emoji. Thanks. It's high quality comment there, Mitch. Good job. So yeah, go ahead, and if you're watching out there, want to tune in, participate in the show, feel free to do so. We'll jump into the rundown next. We're going to start off with something that I thought was a little bit unique. The University of South Dakota triathlon team actually participated over the weekend, and it was in DeWitt, Illinois, in the Prairie State Cup on Saturday morning, and the Coyotes finished in 4th place out of 12 teams. So I am not a triathlon expert, but I believe there are 3 events in the triathlon. Is that correct? Someone fact check me here.
My math serves, yes. I just wrote that down. 3 events. You are correct, Chad.
Yeah, typically it's swimming, biking, and running. I don't know the exact order, but Franziska Neck of USD finished in 2nd place, just a mere seconds out of 1st. So excellent job to Franziska. Ella Spitz also finished in the top 5 with a time of 1:09:15, which I'm sure is really, really impressive. I don't know, that much about the sport, but overall, Mia Morente finished in 18th, and Sydney Sawyer also finished in 23rd. And so pretty decent showing there by the Yotes at the triathlon event out in Illinois, and something that I thought was interesting. So I figured we'd lead off the show with that. Any triathlon fans out there? Have you guys heard a lot about this over the weekend?
Well, I know that we were kind of one of the first schools in college to take this up. So I don't know how many schools are involved nowadays, but I know we were kind of on the ground floor. So
at least 12. I mean, if we finished 4th out of 12, then I'm guessing there were at least 12 teams that had this.
Seems reasonable. Yeah.
I can't imagine doing a triathlon.
I was going to say, you don't get this kind of mathematical analysis everywhere, folks.
I could not do a triathlon. No way.
Yeah, what was your time? An hour and 9 minutes? An hour and 9?
If there's no time limit, I could.
No, I would drown in the swimming portion.
You can't do paddle. You have to actually swim. Okay. Can't have any assistance with that.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think any of us would do very well in that. And so that's, something where shout out
Can
to
we
the
team it?
Yotes
Can we
triathlon team.
One of us bikes, one of us swims, one of us runs for charity?
No. All right, let's move on to our next event here. Our next item is soccer team was off this entire last week. Mark's repping the soccer team shirt here tonight, but the soccer team was off this past week. They do have an upcoming match on the 26th, which is Thursday, up in St. Paul against the St. Thomas Tommies. That one gives the Yotes an opportunity to get back on the pitch, I believe they call it, in order to, get some kinks worked out that we saw the past few games here. So we're hoping for a little bit of an improvement. Hopefully next week when we get back together, we will have the results of that. Anything else to add on that, gentlemen?
I would just add St. Thomas is 4-4-1 on the year. The Yotes are 2-5-2, something like that. I think that 2-5-2 is correct. So
hungry for a W. I'm tired of looking at they got to be hungry for one. These last box scores, last 4 or 5 matches have been no bueno.
Conference season starts, so we're
for the other teams.
Conference season, so everybody's 0-0. Let's go get some wins.
All right. Well, yeah. So that's exciting. I know. Additionally, the softball team had a little scrimmage at Augustana last Thursday. I was unable to attend, and they don't post scores for those type of things. But I'm sure that we did a great job there. So
I assume it was another 52-0.
Yeah.
Type game. So congrats.
So,
Unofficial.
Unofficial score.
Unofficial score there, of course. The next item on our agenda here is the football game. So on Saturday, there was a football game. I think you guys were both there. Oh, I've got a little bit of video highlights here to show. So let me see if I can get this to work. This video is courtesy of Midco Sports. So go ahead and anytime we have a video, we want to give credit where credit is due. So Midco Sports did a great job of broadcasting the game. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this put up on the screen. Here we go. Start things off. I don't know. Jordan, you want to tell us what's happening here?
This is Keandre Jones-Logan, deja vu, once again returning the opening kickoff for a touchdown. And once again, for the second straight home game, it was the loudest the Dome got because the rest of the game was pretty much a sleeper after that. No offense to Northern or Drake.
Yeah, the game lasted 11 seconds. That was.
Yeah.
That boy's fast.
He is so fast. And his dad, Stefan, obviously, he posts about it too. And it's just I want to comment so bad on his Facebook account. Please tell your kid to stay a Yote because he can take this team special places. He's got so much potential still. And, we'll go into it obviously tonight, but there's going to be more involvement with him in the offense.
Yeah, it was good to see him get the ball, or at least trying to get him involved in the offense. And
little trickery here. I love this play.
Yeah, that was close to getting broke for a touchdown too. That was one block shy.
Watch these blocks. Is this the one with JJ's block here? Yeah. Look at this block. Clearing the way. The blocking was phenomenal, you guys. You could see it too during the game. JJ did a great job. The running backs did a great job. Receivers did an excellent job.
Oh, that was a nice pick. I missed that. I was just sitting down.
What do we got? Is this the third? Okay. I think we left right after this score. The boys are getting a little tired. Yeah, Tice just having a day.
And the boys, you mean Mitch and Jake, right?
No, my boys.
Okay.
Mitch was in the front row just having a blast. See, I missed that truck.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
heard
that
John's calling it on the radio though.
the
But
end of that one is
that
a good.
matches
Gonna make
that.
a highlight. That's gonna make a hype video. The end of that where he runs over that dude.
Can we get
right,
Kyle
so that's
Brandt, what's his like the sepulcher thing or whatever he uses? I don't even know what it's called. The scepter.
Yeah,
The scepter.
so here's the thing, Jordan. You put about 4 minutes of prep in for this show, so don't come in and ask me for specific things. Come on now. But
4 minutes.
I didn't get
Like
4 minutes.
14, Chad.
Okay. So it looks like those were some of the highlights. Both of you were at the game. Let's start. Mark, what were some of your thoughts from the game on Saturday?
Well, like I said, I mean, if there was any question of who's going to win the game, that was quickly dashed 11 seconds in as the opening kickoff was returned for a touchdown. And obviously the running game showed out again. I mean, we have 3 or 4 backs that are more than capable of carrying the ball and scoring, anytime they touch the ball. It was good to get the passing game going a little bit. Like I still left with a little, like I was not 100% happy with how that went, but obviously we're ahead by, a huge margin. So there was no need to chuck it around so much, but it was good to get Aiden some completions to various wide receivers. But I'd still like to see, like, I don't know how many catches JJ has on the year. It's not very many. He hasn't been involved very much in the offense thus far. So, I mean, obviously you win the game as big as we did. It's hard to complain, but obviously going into next week, things will intensify as we start Valley play. So it'd certainly be nice to keep that passing game progressing and getting better as we go on here, because I'd imagine teams are going to come in and try to stop the run. I think that would probably be a game plan for the first couple games and make us try to beat them with the pass.
All right, well, let's go to Jordan. Jordan, you were there as well. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I echo the same thing Mark said. The first couple of passes, there were a couple, I can't remember the receiver. Mitch turned around to me because I missed it because my kid had spilled water, but there was a pass I saw it go in the air and then I had to turn, but I don't know who the receiver, but it was wide open on the sideline. And just that throw. And then there was another one by Aiden early on down the field where it was, I don't think the first couple of games he had a lot of opportunities to go deep, and against Drake, we anticipated Portland State to give him that opportunity. And that didn't obviously happen. So it took him a little bit, but as the game progressed, Aiden looked a little bit more comfortable with those mid to long range throws, and still some that he missed though, that I think he's more than capable of making and connecting with the wideouts. But yeah, I'm with Mark. I would love to see Jay Galbraith get involved more, those sit in the middle of a zone, for 10, 15 yards. I think he's more than capable of catching, turning upfield and getting some yards after the catch. Defensively, another stellar game. Just a great defensive game called by Travis, and the tackling. Personally, this is one of the better tackling teams that USD's had in a while. And no offense to Northern or Drake, but maybe it's just because it's against lesser competition. So we'll see as the Valley kicks off, but not a lot of arm tackle, like barely any arm tackling, minimal missed tackles. I don't know if that's in a box score. I tried to look, but minimal missed tackles, and they hit hard. Like you're going to feel it from a USD lineman, defensive lineman. You're going to feel it from a linebacker, and you're going to definitely feel it from our secondary. So that's encouraging. I thought we got better, or USD got better. I'm not on the team. I shouldn't say we. But the only negative caveat I saw with the penalties, just some stupid penalties that we were committing. I think at the end of the second quarter, Mark, is that correct? Like we were just kind of backing up on some of these on that last drive of the first half, maybe. But
yeah, we
the penalties. were probably the biggest negative. It's just kind of like, guys, like, I know it's, this opponent. I know the score is what it is, but you got to stay focused.
Yeah, what did we end up with? 12 or more, I think. The scoreboard actually went bonkers and said we only had 4 for 110 yards, but that would definitely stood out as a point of something we need to clean up. And the other thing I would say on defense, I managed in the second half just to focus on number 10, Gary Bryant, the third. That dude, linebacker, that dude can play football. He is really, really fun to watch. And so he's on my list of possible maybe I need a t-shirt of his on the NIL store. Like, he's good. That was fun.
Mark, how many lists do you have? You have quite a few lists.
I do have a list. And actually, I was going to bring that up. Portland.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's wrap up the recap here. So the final score was 42-3 on Saturday over Drake. Pretty much, like you guys said, over first play of the game. For all intents and purposes. But next up, luckily, turn back around and have another home game this Saturday against Southern Illinois. It's going to be Hall of Fame weekend and family day at the Dakota Dome. Games scheduled for 1:00 kickoff again. So bring the family out, enjoy the tailgate scene. I don't know, anything else to say about Southern Illinois this coming week, guys?
I would say if you come to the game, don't be afraid to use your voice a little bit. Like, I realized the game got out of hand, but after the opening kickoff, it got kind of quiet in there. So
there were people sleeping around me, like older people. So I get it. And like, here's the thing too, is as we know, and Mitch that's on too, and others that might be watching, if you stand up, I experienced this last year, is if you're standing up on third down and normally people are sitting around you, usually by like the third or fourth third down, they start joining in. Like, I don't know what it is with the USD fan base that just kind of show. It's the same thing at the Summit League. Like, they're there almost to be seen rather than to be heard. Like, yeah, I was there, but it's like, be there, like, right. I don't know if we need to have like a fan 101 class taught by Chad and Mark, but I don't know. But no, Southern Illinois. So for those that don't know, they have a excellent quarterback by the name of DJ Williams, who went down a couple weeks ago with an injury. Dude passed for 301 yards and then rushed for 79 in that game against Incarnate Word, and then he went down with an injury. I haven't seen the exact timeline, but he's out for the foreseeable future, according to SIU. So that's a big loss for them, and it showed against Southeast Missouri yesterday. So Southern Illinois is a good football team. They're a really good football team with him. It's going to be a tough game because it's a Valley game, but I do like our chances on the defensive end with the quarterback. I don't even know his name. I'm so sorry about that, but that they have right now in for him, but that definitely changes things going in.
For sure.
So I'm going to mention a couple things. First off, I don't know, Jordan, you missed the disclaimer at the beginning of the program, but all opinions that are expressed on this program are not the opinion of the University of South Dakota or the USD Athletic Department. These are our personal opinions. If we say anything and you don't like it, just ignore it and don't watch. We're fine with that. Secondly, I think going back to the thing that you said about the fan base cheering, I think this is becoming more prevalent all across football, where I think the fan level of interaction is really down overall. I attend a lot of different football games, and the high school student sections are pretty good for the most part, but even on third down, don't wait until they're at the line of scrimmage to get loud, right? You want to get loud when they are in the huddle, when they're trying to make the decision and call that play on third and fourth down. It's just one of those like fan IQ moments where you have to really be involved in the game. You have to understand how the game is played and what's going on there.
And there's no rule. We can cheer on first and second down when they have the ball too. Like,
yeah,
we play in a relatively small place. It could be such a home field advantage, and we just don't.
Even when it's only 2/3 full, you guys. Like, there was, I think, probably 6,000. I don't know the actual attendance number, but it was 6,000. Great job by the students. I thought it was a great student section for that first quarter. But even with 6,000, it's like in the SCSC. Even when it's only like 3,000 people in there, it gets loud. Like, if I wanted to sit and watch USD football on my butt for 3 hours, I would just subscribe to Midco Sports app and stay at home.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that when I can go to a game.
It's a way more fun if you participate. Like, trust me, you'll want to go back because it's fun, and you feel like you can affect the game, which you can. Like, I wish they had a scoreboard that kept track of the false starts we caused. It would have been 0 versus Drake because we were at church, but like, I don't know, like, try to make it a thing.
Sacramento State, the playoff game, there were at least 3 or 4 that I remember.
Right. I'm grumpy. I should shut up.
Well, no, that's fine. We're kind of calling out Yo fans, and fortunately for the fan base, there's another opportunity coming up this Saturday to kind of make us look like idiots, right?
I'm kind of, but also realizing who the last 2 home opponents were and how the game was forecasted and did end up going. Southern Illinois will be a great game. Like, I tweeted this out, but like, call a friend, call a barista, call a coworker that you only talk about football on Mondays with. Like, bring someone to the game with you. Take them to a Coyote football game. The game day atmosphere has completely changed. It's so much better. The in-game stuff, the tailgating during the game, like the turf, the sound, the lights, everything is so much better. Just bring some family that haven't gone to a game in a while. Go down, and have some fun. You know, we got this game, we've got D-Days, and then the last 2, I believe, are Indiana State, which should be another steamroll for the Yotes, and then the last one's NDSU, and there's still, last I checked, there's still over 3,000 tickets left for that game. So if you don't want people complaining about the amount of green and gold in the stands for that game, buy your tickets now. Go to the game. So I'm not trying to lecture Yote fans, but hey, you got a top 10 team, probably going to be ranked number 6 again tomorrow in the polls. Like, let's go support these guys. And I would say the same thing for all the sports, obviously. But, you know, this hasn't happened in a while where we've had back-to-back seasons like this. So get to Vermilion, get to a football game.
And by the way, I just mentioned that Mitch asked whose dog is snoring. That's my dog. I didn't. Can you guys hear that? Apparently,
yeah, I was trying to delete that comment, but it wouldn't let me.
I thought maybe it was me and my allergies are like breathing heavy or something.
Yeah,
I'll try to kick her here as she acts
we
up.
hear a little yelp.
Kai Watson made me buy this dog. Well, or rescue the dog. Like, it's all her fault. So shout out Kai Watson if you're watching.
Well, are you guys ready to move on to the next item here?
Do we want to mention really quick the folks that are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend?
Do you have a list in front of you, Jordan?
I do.
Okay,
Part of
well,
that
go ahead. Tell us about that.
All right, this is directly from the USD website. So the group includes USD's first Division I national champion Bethany Fursick, 2013, 2-time All-American offensive lineman Tom Compton, who I believe played 11 years in the NFL. 5-time All-American distance runner Ramsey Fitzsimmons, 2-time NCC Defensive Player of the Year Amber Robinson, and former cross-country coach Rob Kanunen, who will be honored posthumously. In addition, longtime public address announcer Greg Merrigan will be inducted as a special contributor, and special recognition given to the 2008 women's track and field team coached by Lucky Huber. That's quite the class,
I'd say.
Is that a sign of me getting old that I recognize most of those names now and like they were there when I was there?
Just wait. It gets worse.
like Tom Compton playing 11 years in the NFL, now getting inducted into this. It's like he was there when, I don't know. Well, can't stop time.
Nope.
All right.
Anyways, that's it. We can moving right along.
Well, the next thing on the agenda is also your item here, Jordan. You wanted to talk about the top 25.
Oh yeah, let me get that pulled up because I don't know. It's kind of nice as we continue to be relevant in the FCS that we kind of have an idea of what else is happening around the FCS. So I have the top 25 FCS scoreboard from this past weekend. So number 1, SDSU crushed Southeastern Louisiana 41-0. NDSU beat Towson 41-24. That was actually a really close game most of the game. So 3, Montana State 52, Mercyhurst 13. Number 4, Idaho, who it continues to impress, has another ranked win against Abilene Christian 27-24. Villanova played FBS Maryland and lost 38-20. So maybe the Yotes move up a spot in the polls because Villanova lost, but the way some of these voters go, probably not. USD obviously won 42-3 over Drake. Southern Illinois ranked 7th, lost to number 21 Southeast Missouri, or SEMO, 38-21. Central Arkansas, who some folks have even ranked higher than USD, but right now in these polls, they're number 8. They beat Arkansas Pine Bluff 56-17. And then Montana with a nice win over number 24 Western Carolina 46-35. And then North Dakota had a less than stellar, but still good comeback win, I should say, against the smaller USD San Diego 41-24. And I think that's pretty much it. Other notable ones, UC Davis might get some love in the polls. They beat Utah Tech 32-14.
All right.
I'm not going to go through the whole top 25. But
yeah, thank you. I was going to cut you off after the top 10 anyway. So, yeah, that was getting a little bit brutal.
How'd Portland State do? You got that score ready?
They got a butt whooping.
I think it was 56-14, something like that.
Yep, they got their butts whooped. So
that's a shame.
They played at Boise State. I was watching part of it, but on college football Saturdays, once it hits about 9 p.m., that's where I shut off the TV, and that's the limit of my. I'm an early riser, and spending all day out at games just wears me out.
You didn't stay up and watch the UNI Hawaii game? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I used to years ago. I would like watch replays of games on Sunday morning, and then I was just like, no, the score is good enough. I've seen enough games. It's
Get the gist of it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, the next item on our list here to talk about is volleyball. Volleyball had another busy weekend this past week. Played, was it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Thursday night?
Correct.
In Coralville, Iowa, versus the Iowa Hawkeyes, and see if we can pull up the statistics here and take a look. Let me know when you guys can see this.
Yep.
Okay, we're up there. I saw we had a couple viewers at some point. If you're watching and you want to comment, unless you're Mitch, then go ahead and do so. Mitch, you've hit your quota for the day. You're done. So no more quotes from you, comments from you on the show. Sorry about that. So the Yotes played against Iowa and started off a little bit slow, lost 25-22, 25-20, but then really picked it up in sets 3 and 4, winning both of those 25-22, 25-19. But unfortunately, set 5 didn't go the Yotes' way. 15-7 defeat on that one. So that one brought the Yotes to 6-3 on the season. It was pretty much a home game for Iowa. And I don't know if you guys can see on the screen here what this attendance figure is. Can you guys see that okay?
Yeah.
483. All right. I don't know. Presented without any other comment right now. So then the next match was on Friday versus Drake, excuse me. The Yotes were able to pull off the victory here. The first one went into extras, which is always fun. 31-29, then 25-22. Dropped the third set, 25-22 to Drake, but then came back with the pretty much outstanding win, 25-16, pulling the Yotes to 7-3 on the season. Once again, not great attendance. Drake isn't too far away from. I'm just saying. Anyways, 114 was the official paid attendance for that one, and then on Saturday versus the St. Louis Billikens, Yotes pulled out the win in 4 sets, 25-22, 25-16. Dropped the third one, 25-23, and then won the fourth, 30-28. So pretty decent weekend for the volleyball squad over there in Coralville. Mark, you kind of watched a few stats. Do you have anything that you want to highlight a little bit?
No, not really. I mean, I guess I would say I saw Coach Williamson say on Twitter that, she was very impressed. She always calls it the preseason, which I always find interesting. I don't refer to it to that. That doesn't come naturally to me, but she refers to it as a preseason, and she was happy with the growth of the team. And obviously, 8-3 record is more than admirable. And so now for her, and I assume the message to the team is now the real season starts, and we don't start off with a cupcake. We're heading up to Denver, so we get the conference season going in earnest right away.
Yeah, I've got the schedule right here in front of me. It looks like Thursday night at Denver, and then where did my schedule go here? And then Saturday we are at Oral Roberts. So a couple tough ones there. Thursday night, 7 p.m. at Denver. You can watch on the Summit League Network as always. I am a loyal subscriber, Jordan. So if you want to watch at my house, you can, since you're too frugal to pay, apparently. So let me know if you want to stop over and watch.
I just usually start my subscription in October.
Okay.
October through March. That's my subscription.
See what the volleyball crowd says about this. And then Saturday is a 1 p.m. game, so same exact time as the football. So maybe we'll pull it up on our phone if we can get some service at Oral Roberts in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Mark, you had mentioned, the preseason per se, the non-conference season. Yotes had 3 losses. Those 3 losses weren't against, terrible teams, obviously. One of them was to a tough Louisville team. Another one was one where the Yotes probably played their worst so far I've seen them play this year. That was against Northern Kentucky. But then that dropping this one against Iowa, we didn't watch it because it was, on a weird Big Ten Network Plus streaming service that all the codes were not working for us that we tried to access that. And we have lots of logistical issues there. But no one in Iowa watched it either. There were only 400 fans at the game. So, that's one of those things where, the Yotes took them to 5, and against a Big Ten opponent, that's kind of what you kind of want to see. Obviously, you'd like to come out on the top end of that one.
Yeah, I just think it shows how maybe spoiled we are as volleyball fans at South Dakota. Like, you're disappointed we lost to Iowa. Like that, not many schools can say that. And I know, and it sounded like they were disappointed too. They thought they should have won the game. So, it just says a lot about where this program is right now. Where we
multiple Power 4 wins. Some great mid-major wins. I'd be hard pressed to find a better non-con result than USD went through in the preseason. 8-3. There might be some other teams in the conference that have better records, but not the quality of non-con opponents that USD has. Now, put it to work, right? Let's use that in conference play.
Here's the thing: conference play is not easy. Not going to be easy this year. There's a lot of good teams in the Summit League, and it's going to be really challenging. I think setting the tone this week at Denver and at Oral Roberts is going to be a huge stepping stone for the Yotes. So I'll be interested to see how we respond this coming week.
Yeah, no, it's obviously a big test right off the bat. Oral Roberts has been down in recent years. I don't know how they'll be this year, but obviously Denver's always at the top of the league or near the top. So,
and Jordan, I am going to say we, because I do attend games and I feel like I'm a part of things. And Coach actually did say after that home tournament that the crowd was a big factor in some of those wins. So I'm gonna feel like I'm a part of this thing along the way.
Absolutely. We.
Fair.
Okay.
I'll start saying we.
And you were there too. You were on that picture we showed last week, I think. So
yeah, 100% was there.
All right. Well, that is our rundown. Was there anything that we missed? If you're watching on the YouTube, go ahead and drop some comments in there and let us know what else we missed this week. But that kind of covers the week in Coyote Athletics that we saw. Our next item is going to be our eye chart of the week. And so I'm going to start with our intro video.
And that's just what they wanted to do there. And all things considered, again, as you see the eye chart cardboard cutout, how appropriate.
Through the review, the eye chart made its way to the video board. It really injected some energy.
That gives me goosebumps. I think every time that I watch that, that's just, I have randomly watched this throughout the week, and it makes me feel good. There's a smile on my face. There's the eye chart right there.
There it is. Hey.
All right. So for those of you that are unaware, Mark is famous, or maybe we'll call him infamous, for holding up that eye chart during games when officials, such as our good friend Kelly Pfeiffer here, make a questionable call that we don't agree with. And so we can obviously see how some of the other fans feel in the picture that was the first picture on the screen. But we're going to go ahead and do our eye chart moments of the week. So, Mark, do you want to start us off?
Yes, and I have some housekeeping to do in this little segment as for those that have been following along, we put this up to a Twitter vote afterwards, and you, the listeners, get to decide who's the actual winner of the eye chart of the week. And last week I failed to reveal the results. So 2 weeks ago, my nominee, political ads during football games, won with 60% of the vote. Chad Birger, jinxing Northern State, was tied with Jordan, NFL owners, and the new kickoff rule. They both finished with 20%. And since that, I think we've learned that Chad Birger does not responsible for Northern. I think Northern State lost the following weekend there. So
yeah, they're just bad.
Chad.
They're bad. Yep.
And so then last week, Portland State obviously wins the poll. Jordan's nominee at 68.8%, almost nice. Chad's nominee, Scott Hansen, for what was it? Sioux Falls, Iowa, was his faux pas there, 21.9%. And absolutely no one had any sympathy for me in the high five line following the volleyball game, coming in last at 9.4%. So for this week, my nominee, I didn't know what I was going to do for this for a long time. And then fortunately, Saturday after the football game, I logged on Twitter and quickly got a couple of deserving people. So I don't know if I'm nominating myself or this fellow that decided to tweet at me. I made a post about my favorite baseball team, long-suffering fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates, who since 1985 have had eight winning seasons. So I made a little post about my pain I've been having as a Pirate fan. They've secured yet another losing season again. And so this fellow, K-Hive Warmonger, decides to tweet at me. And he and I'll read the tweets to you. You are the problem. You watch and you pay to go to the games. You are the enabler. I actually blame you more than owner Bob Nutting for them being the worst franchise in sports history. Stop bleeping watching. Which wasn't enough for Mr. Warmonger. He had to tweet me again, in which he said, "This is on you. Stop effing watching." So I don't know if my nominee is Mr. Warmonger or myself for causing the Pirates to be as pitiful as they have been. But in any case, that I or him is my nominee for the eye chart of the week.
I think it's wasting money on flying out to Pittsburgh, Mark. That's how they get you.
But, yes. Yeah.
It's got to be K-Hive Warmonger with the eye chart here. The guy has like 68 followers on Twitter, and he's just randomly attacking people that are fans of a team. I mean, come on now. He or she, I should say. I apologize. I don't know K-Hive at all. If that's a,
I was thinking about it. Like, I pay for the MLB single team package. I think it cost me $90 a year. Like, would I not do that next year if it guaranteed the Pirates won the World Series? I don't. Then I wouldn't feel part of it. Like, we wouldn't win the World Series. It would be they. And so, I don't know. So I'm sorry, Mr. Warmonger. I'm paying next year to watch the Pirates opening day till either the World Series or they suck bad enough if football season starts and I can shift my focus.
I don't believe in sports jinxes at all. So, I mean, like you watching a sport has nothing to do with the outcome of the game. Like, people that believe that,
Are you joking? You know how many times I've shifted where I've sat or what I'm doing or what I'm drinking or what I'm eating?
Changed jerseys several times during Steeler games. Several times.
There is one thing that we can guarantee. If Jordan takes a drink or eats something during this show, it will end up as our YouTube cover photo for the week. That's been a kind of a...
Or you'll get me like mid-blank where I'm like...
all right. Well, Jordan, what's your eye chart moment of the week here?
Well, not to piggyback off of the disaster that was Portland State. But my eye chart of the week goes to the NCAA and their ridiculous ruling that Dennis Shorter still had to sit out for the first half against Drake because of I guess a targeting or unnecessary roughness call against Wisconsin. I didn't think it was that bad, but the fact that he had to sit out this game because Portland State had that whole thing last week, that's just BS. Like, I get they cited the COVID protocol that was in place, but the appeal from USD got denied by the NCAA. They get my big eye chart of the week, and then I'm done talking about this stupid Portland State game.
Well, you're going to win the poll. And I feel bad for Dennis. Like, so the game he comes back, when he comes in the second half, it's like we don't want to risk him getting injury. And he played a few. I didn't keep track of how many series he played, but he didn't get to play the entire second half because we were up big, and you don't want to get him hurt for conference play. So I don't know how many quarters that ended up costing him, that one play. And I don't even remember the play. Like, usually I throw something at the TV at those targeting calls because I disagree with a lot of them. I don't remember the play. So it couldn't have been that egregious. And he ends up missing, I don't know how many quarters of football because of it, way more than 2, which I don't like the rule in the first place. I think it's an excessive penalty, period.
Like, I can understand, the getting thrown out for the rule, right? But then after the game, everyone goes, okay, there was clearly no ill intentions with the hit. And I know that might be subjective, but like, have a committee to review that then. If it's not ill intent, like, he doesn't need to be suspended for another half. Like, what are we?
Right.
Or any player. Like,
you put me in charge. I think I would maybe make him sit out the series or a quarter. A half a game seems just excessive for, especially Dennis is a senior, and he's going to get, like we talked about last week, there's a finite amount of games those guys get to play, period. And we punished him.
Well, let's add a game to the end of the season then, right?
Right. Yeah.
Down in Frisco.
We got Chad.
What's yours, Chad?
All right. So my eye chart of the week for this week is going to go to the Quick Star Classic / Iowa Hawkeye volleyball fans. The Quick Star Classic televised on Big Ten Network Plus. So in our group text the other day, we were kind of texting around, does anyone have this? And turns out, no, none of us do, because it's a pay-for service that the money-hungry Big Ten Conference charges a subscription rate for. And so we did find that since the Big Ten had admitted new conference members, specifically Washington and UCLA, USC, some of those over the past season, they did have free access codes. But none of those free access codes were able to be used by any of us to access the Big Ten Network Plus. So we were unable to watch any of the action. In addition to that, Iowa fans did not show up. I mentioned earlier the attendance at that game that South Dakota played in Coralville, Iowa, which is a mere few miles away from Iowa City, was 483. 483. If this was in Vermilion, it would have been over 1,000, if not 2,000 at that game. I'm guessing it probably would have been 2,000 against Iowa. Absolutely. So Iowa volleyball fans and the Big Ten Network Plus, the Quick Star Classic, all of you guys get the eye chart of the week from me.
Agreed. That was frustrating. Like in 2024, we can't get a stream of the game. I don't know.
And
it wasn't.
Give an a la carte option or something, right? I mean,
right.
Like,
yes.
Don't make me sign up for your service for a month to watch 3 days of volleyball. I
don't even think all 3 days were on. I think it was just the Iowa game.
Oh yeah, terrible.
Like, I'm sorry, is there not? You mean to tell me that Iowa or Big Ten, whatever the policy is, you can't find a sponsor to cover that cost per year? That, hey, let's help grow the sport, whether it's basketball, volleyball, softball, football, whatever. Like, if someone's got to pay, I don't know, $9, $15, $20, and all they want to watch is one event, or God forbid, if you're a fan of the school, like, why have these subscriptions? Go find a sponsor to cover for it. Quickstar seems to like to sponsor a bunch of stuff. Go get them. Like, they sponsor the tournament. Why not sponsor the feed?
Yeah.
I don't. That's always been my thing. Is like, if I have to pay to watch it, it's like, you mean to tell me there isn't some bank or healthcare system where this team is located that is like, oh yeah, I know you guys will get 500 or so viewers a match or higher. I'll put my logo up there.
I'm pretty sure the Big Ten is going to announce profits in the billions with a B at the end of the year. So it's not like, but they wanted, what did they want? $12.99 to watch that game?
Yep.
For that match. Yeah.
That's how you grow the sport right there.
I guess so.
Well, those are our eye chart moments of the week.
We'll put it up on a poll. You guys get to decide.
And I'm going to play the video one more time.
And all things considered again. As you see the eye chart cardboard cutout. How appropriate.
Through the review, the eye chart made its way to the video board. It really injected some energy.
I'm pumped up with nowhere to go. All right, Jordan, go ahead and do our sponsor read.
And tonight's episode sponsor is the Wakanda Peach Company, located in Wakanda, South Dakota, where all your peach dreams come true. If you'd like more information, reach out to Mark.
At Wakanda Peach is the Twitter handle for that. At Wakanda Peach. Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead and reach out.
There's ways out there to get yourself a free T-shirt. You just got to do a little research at this point. But it's not hard. You can get one.
So speaking of that, are we still waiting for people that had won free shirts to pick those up?
Correct. Yeah, I gave none away at Tailgate Saturday. So everyone that has done their deal, I still owe them one. You just got to come find me or Chad. Chad doesn't have a T-shirt yet, but come find me would be the quickest way to get yours.
Hey, if I may, special thanks to everyone that I did have some people come up to me at tailgate to take a gel yote shot and offer a free will donation to Alex's lemonade stand. So I only made about 20 Jello shots. I think only 10 of them were taken, but it was more than I thought. It just, we're starting something right from the ground up. So we were able to raise over $50 that I'll donate on Aiden Bauman's behalf to Alex's lemonade stand. That is an organization that raises funds to increase research into childhood cancer and development for ways to cure it. So Aiden Bauman won it last year. He is one of 12, I think, athletes across the country partaking this year. So any home game, we're doing gel yote shots. To get one, we're going to do a free will donation, whether it's cash or I think you have to create an account. So to cut that time, just either give me cash or Venmo me, and then all of that obviously will go. I'll just pay it to Aiden's account after the game. So over $50 the first game. So it was pretty cool.
Right on. We'll retweet Aiden's link too if you just want to donate right to the bucket, or give me a gel shot. Find me if you don't want to do it. I'll do it.
Well, that should cover it for tonight's episode. Thanks to everyone for tuning in and staying with us. We hit over 50 minutes tonight. Kind of surprising with the little content that we had, but we were able to cover quite a bit of ground. If you have any comments for us, go ahead and reach out on Twitter. Once again, our Twitter handle is @HowlWithUs3. For Jordan Decker, for Mark Wendt, I'm Chad Birger. Until next time, go Yotes.